Pacers won 30, Knicks won 21. Pacers 3, Knicks 1. The Pacers are one game away from a trip to the NBA Finals. Tyrese Haliburton, amazing. Pascal, Siakam, and Bennedict, Mathurin meet the moment. Aaron Nesmith, what injury. What a win for the Pacers. We have so much to get to on today's Locked On Pacers podcast.
You are Locked On Pacers, your daily Indiana Pacers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What up, y'all? Happy Wednesday, and welcome into another edition of the Locked On Pacers podcast, where we, of course, talk about the up 3-1 Indiana Pacers. As always, my name's Tony East. I cover the team for Forbes, and today, wow. What a response from the Pacers. This is what all their series have looked like. A great start, a bad game 3, an impressive game 4. And they are once again up 3-1. They are one win away from their second ever trip to the NBA Finals. They were awesome in many ways today. They corrected a lot of their problems from game 3. Tyrese Haliburton just had the best game and moment of his career. Bennedict, Mathurin, welcome to the playoffs. An exceptional game from him. Pascal, Siakam with the quietest 30-point game in conference finals history. Aaron Nesmith is made of vibranium, and the Pacers have 3 wins against the New York Knicks after just 4 games. What a night for the Pacers. I wanted to talk about adjustments to lead off today's show. The Pacers had quite a few, and I really wanted to talk about their ability to identify changes the Knicks were making and immediately reply to them. And we will talk about those things later. None of those deserve to be the lead today. Tyrese Haliburton deserves to be the lead today. And Bennedict, Mathurin, and Pascal Siakam deserve a ton of time today. And Aaron Nesmith deserves a ton of time today. Tyrese Haliburton, with Pacers legends in the building everywhere, with his dad back in the arena, with Reggie Miller 2 feet away, just delivered one of the greatest performances from a Pacers player ever, especially on this stage. A chance to seize control of a conference final series against the team's longtime rivals right after a game that he pointed to himself post-game and said, "This is on me. It was my fault. Game 3 went that way." The Pacers lost their pace. Haliburton's the pace setter. Their offensive flow wasn't there. He's in charge of a lot of that. They never looked like the Pacers. He is the guy who makes all that possible. And he said it, and everybody else took their own blame for it, but it's what Tyrese Haliburton is amazing at. Responding with his dad in a suite, he responded. What a game from Tyrese Haliburton. 32 points, 12 rebounds, by far his most exceptional compared to expectation stat. 12 boards in this game. Pascal Siakam joking post-game that Haliburton stole some rebounds from him. 15 assists. That requires your teammates to make shots, and they did. The Pacers with 29 assists in this game. Haliburton had over half of them. The Knicks had 17 assists as a team. Tyrese Haliburton had 15 by himself. 4 steals. The Pacers had 11 as a team. He had a third of them. The Knicks had 7 total. And the one that always stands out with Tyrese Haliburton, 0, like the number on his jersey, turnovers in the game. Rick Carlisle joking afterwards that there will eventually be a stat named after Tyrese Haliburton, likely related to the 0 turnovers. Triple-double, no turnovers on this stage. Are you kidding me? That is as good as it possibly gets for Tyrese Haliburton, who had an exceptional game in the in-season tournament against the Celtics last year with 26, 10, and 13 with no turnovers, who had a triple-double in the playoffs last year against the Bucks, albeit not close to the scoring output. This is his 3rd triple-double. They've all been on huge stages. This one on the biggest stage yet. This one featuring by far his best ever game. He would not be denied. And I thought that this one, when people talk about Tyrese Haliburton being aggressive, I frequently think that they are over-indexing on him just getting to the rim and trying to score in the paint. Don't get me wrong. That is a huge part of Tyrese Haliburton's success. But when he talks about his own aggressiveness, this is the kind of game, I can't talk, that he is referring to. When he gets into the paint and can make plays from there. Yes, he hit 5 threes. Right wing, 3 at the top of the key, 1 on the left wing. But he hit 2 jumpers right at the top of the key. He took his floater 3 times. He did score 4 times right at the basket, but he was getting shots from everywhere because he was penetrating and trying to get 2 feet in the paint to keep the Pacers offense flowing. And of course, by the way, 15 assists. Unbelievable passing game from him, as is customary for a guy who is among the best passers in the NBA right now. And they all go to different guys. 3 of his first 4 to Nesmith, then Toppin, Siakam, Nembhard, Nesmith again, Tony Bradley, Bennedict, Mathurin, Obi Toppin again, the dagger, 3 late in the fourth quarter. He found everybody in all sorts of ways for threes, for twos, for everything. Every single thing that makes Tyrese Haliburton an exceptional player. And the reason I said I thought it was so dumb, even though I understood why they did it, why they were so wrong when he got voted overrated, is because no one is this central without being able to have turnovers, right? I don't want to stray too far from the Pacers. I covered the Fever and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is an unbelievable passer. She has 3 or 4 turnovers every night. That's not to take away from what she does. That is an expected volume of turnovers for someone who passes and has as many assists as someone like Tyrese Haliburton does with this frequency. He has 0 or 1 all the time. And as I talk about on the show, when he has 2 in a game, it is agonizing. You can see him so frustrated with himself because he overthrew a pass or he misread something with somebody. He hates it. It is so rare. And he's not doing the Darren Collison 7 assists a game. Darren Collison in the building tonight. Darren Collison, fine passer. He was doing a lot of simple stuff. Here, you on the wing, take this. Here, you in the post, take this. Tyrese Haliburton is jumping through the air, pirouetting, lobbing it across the court between defenders, flinging it 30 feet ahead in transition to his running teammates. Risky, challenging, difficult passes that very few players in the league can actually make and even fewer actually throw because of the risks that they come with. Tyrese Haliburton says, no problem. No problem. He was one of 4 players with 9 or more assists per game this season. The other 3 being Cade Cunningham, Nikola Jokic, and Trae Young. Cade Cunningham averaged 4.4 turnovers per game. Jokic 3.3. Trae Young 4.7. Tyrese Haliburton was 1.6. I know that these numbers are known, but this is what makes him so dominant when he's at his absolute best like this. He does not mess up these high leverage passing plays, and his teammates make the shots, and he gets in the paint, and he's flicking in jumpers that he loves, and he's making threes, and the Tony Eastat is coming. He took 11 twos in this game. An absolutely unbelievable, one of the best Pacers performances ever game from Tyrese Haliburton, who had 20, 10, and 8 at halftime. That alone would have made him probably the lead discussion point for this show. And he was even better at a lot of things in the second half. His defense has been has been pretty good in the postseason. Plus 16 in this game. This was a super duper star performance from a super duper star player. In the playoffs right now, there are 2 players averaging 9 assists per game. It's Tyrese Haliburton, who leads the league entering this game with 9.4. That average is going to climb. And James Harden. Haliburton, many fewer assists. In fact, he's the only guy in the top 5 of assists per game in the playoffs with less than 2.9 turnovers per game. He's going to be below 2 after this game. He is the Pacers offense. They often go as he go. That's not fair to everyone else. They have a lot of exceptional players on the team, but as is well known, their identity, they play the way they do because of him. He has the ball all the time. Everybody plays random and fast and gets open and cuts because of him. And they know they're going to get the ball, and they know they're going to be involved, and they know they're going to have chances to score, and they know he's going to have chances to score. And Tyrese Haliburton, one game after, settling too much, not attacking the rim as much as he likes, not attacking mismatches in the right ways, getting out of them with screens, getting off the ball, getting into the paint and overpassing quite often, and not taking the shots that they like, not taking the floaters he wants. So many things that the Pacers are all about weren't happening. Kyle Taylor and I broke those down yesterday. In this game, they all happened, and Tyrese Haliburton led it to happen with brilliance in every aspect of his game, in a game that will go into the pantheon of Pacers performances and gets them 1 win away from the NBA Finals. Unbelievable. Leading scorer in the game, leading assists man in the game, tied for the leading rebounder in the game, the leading steals man in the game, and obviously the fewest turnovers of anyone who played. All belongs to one player in a conference finals game, and that is Tyrese Haliburton, and the Pacers lead 3-1. Just unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. So many guys had to come up along with him to make this happen. Pascal Siakam was phenomenal. Bennedict Mathurin, there it is. The Bennedict Mathurin game has happened. And many more things to get to on Locked On Pacers, but the first 10 minutes had to be about that. the best game Tyrese Haliburton's ever played. And they're up 3-1. One win from the finals, and so many more guys helped get there. Let's talk about Siakam and Mathurin and so much more coming up. Before we do that, let's talk about DoorDash. NBA fans, you know what time it is. Playoff season means big performances and even bigger rewards. DoorDash is bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal for DashPass members during the 2025 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh, You Score Anytime. The player drops 50 or more points in a playoff game. DashPass members score a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more. Use code Wingstop50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, totally free. That offer is valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms do apply. Whatever your move is after an epic game, relive the highlights, order some wings, be rewarded with free food. You ever looked at your delivery fees and thought, it's got to be a better way? Well, DashPass is the way. $0 delivery fees and exclusive perks like this one. So here's the play. Sign up for DashPass to unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. When a player scores 50+ in a playoff game, DashPass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy tenders combo from Wingstop the next day with a $20 plus order and code Wingstop50. That's DashPass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms apply. Back here on Locked On Pacers, thanks for making us your first listen today and every single day, your second listen, Locked On Knicks, to hear about what they think of what just happened in Game 4. The first time a road team did not win in the series. The Knicks have been awesome on the road in this playoffs. The Pacers continue their script from the first two rounds. Win, loss, win. You all know what happened in Game 5. In those series, the Knicks are their best opponent so far, but they can do it. They know they can. They've done it 3 times already. Ben Mathurin, I kept saying it, and I can't even lie and not admit that my thought that it was going to happen was dwindling, mostly because there's fewer games, but also because his minutes were dropping. I kept saying a Bennedict Mathurin game is coming in the playoffs. He had that half against the Cavs where he was great when the game was already decided. He's had some flashes here or there, great cutting early in the Bucks series, great defense at times led Kevin Porter Jr. There it is. Tonight, it happened. 20 points for Ben Mathurin in 12 minutes and 29 seconds of play. Actually, it's been updated. Thank you, box score. 12 minutes and 30 seconds of play. Unbelievable. 11 free throw attempts. Drives, draw contact. That's what Ben Mathurin's great at. Good passes, 2 assists. That's what they require of him. No turnovers. 2 rebounds. Made shots, 5 of them. All of them twos. 5 for 6 on 2-point shots was Bennedict Mathurin in this game. He attacked at the perfect times. He attacked crevices and gaps in the Knicks defense. He came in and immediately knew what was expected of him. He made and took difficult and easy shots. He made quick decisions. All the stuff everybody always says Bennedict Mathurin needs to do. He did it in this game. There was never a moment that the offense felt clunky with him out there. There was never a moment where it felt like the he and McConnell lineups were who's doing what, who should be doing what. They both knew exactly what to do and when. He was awesome, and the Pacers were great with him on the floor. He came in at key times and changed the game many a time, including very end of the third quarter when he came in and immediately scored off an inbounds pass, and we will talk about that play later because it's very reflective of some things that happened to the Pacers in this game. His best playoff performance, there it was, the Bennedict Mathurin game. 12 minutes and 30 seconds of play. That is the fewest amount of playing time, the smallest amount of playing time for a player who scores 20 points in a playoff game ever. Previous low, 2008 Celtics-Lakers Leon Poe with 21 points in 14:39 for the Celtics. He made 6 shots and 9 free throws in that game. Ben Mathurin today, 20 points in 2 fewer minutes. He was outstanding and did it in little time and did it in different ways. A pull-up jumper, a cutting finger roll, a driving floater-ish shot, a reverse layup, a dunk in the fourth quarter. An awesome, exceptional game from Bennedict Mathurin, his best one of the playoffs. He carved up the Knicks during the season. He did it again today. And to do it in that little time was absolutely fantastic. They got him at the right moments. And on a night that Nesmith played, I wondered what his role would even be. It kept getting smaller and smaller. Ben Shepherd keeps playing. Ben Shepherd's coming in earlier even now in this game because Nesmith can't play quite as much. He still played a lot. And yet Ben Mathurin comes in, fills in the gaps, and was outstanding. The Pacers bench players not named Ben Mathurin in this game had 16 points. He had 20 by himself. Just outstanding. He was unbelievably good, well over expectation. His best playoff game, he met the moment. Rick Carlisle credited a practice he had yesterday with some of the other low-minute guys. He was working with Johnny Furphy and Jarris Walker. Ben Mathurin translated that, into a fantastic game today. Aggressive at the right times, moved the ball. Everything he's been asked to do, he did it today. And a guy who always seems to be near Ben Mathurin, happy for Ben Mathurin, helping Ben Mathurin. He helps everybody. He's a great leader. But you could see it in this game when Mathurin dimes up Pascal Siakam for a corner three, and Pascal Siakam is smiling and pointing, and they're happy with the play. Pascal Siakam was the other brilliant non-Haliburton guy to talk about. I feel bad skipping over Aaron Nesmith for too much time here on one ankle, although he looked pretty healthy. He had 16 points on 9 shot attempts, so it was plus 20. An incredible game from him, but we got to conclude our player breakdowns talking about Pascal Siakam. 11 for 21, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 30 points, the quietest 30-point conference finals game ever. I didn't even know he had 30. He had a free throw late to get it done. He had 13 points on 5 makes at halftime and 17 points on 6 makes in the second half. It's just different. Jared Wade used to cover the Pacers, one of the best ever covering this team. He used to talk about Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and their differences. And Steph Curry, a la Tyrese Haliburton this game, will just have some like FU stretches of play where he's unbelievable and scores 16 points in 3 minutes and rips your heart out. Whereas Kevin Durant with just the steady 8 points a quarter and he gets 32. And like 8 points a quarter is like 1 basket every 2 or 3 minutes. You don't feel that. That's what Siakam's game was today. The quietest 30-point game I have ever seen. He was good early with 4 makes in that first quarter, only 1 in the second on his only attempt, but then kept spreading them out with 3 in the third and 3 in the fourth. Whenever they needed him to do something, he was there. He had a huge stabilizing 3 in the fourth quarter. Whenever Josh Hart was on him, whenever Deuce McBride was on him, whenever any smalls were on Pascal Siakam, you'll never guess what he did. He dives into the paint and finds a way to score. That's what he can do that no one else on the Pacers can do. Just absolutely wreck those small matchups in any instance. Turner can do it if he's already in the post. Siakam can do it in any moment. Turnarounds, tough turnarounds over good players, running shots, step backs, dunking it. Incredible Pascal Siakam game. One of the quietest 30-point games I've ever seen in any setting, and he did it in a conference final setting. He always is about the team. He was again after the game, but he was just outstanding again. What a great trade for the Pacers. He's been amazing. And he might, if the Pacers can win one more time, get to go to his second NBA Finals as one of the core members of the team. We'll talk about Nesmith now. I wondered if Aaron Nesmith's ankle injury, even if he played, 1, what percentage of Aaron Nesmith is going to be there? 2, he has the crucial role of the Jalen Brunson assignment. If he's even 80% of himself, can he do that? Should they shift him off of that assignment? What are they going to get from Aaron Nesmith? How's it going to change the rest of their strategy? How about just normal Aaron Nesmith? How about no concern at all about if Aaron Nesmith is hurt at all? What an absurdly good game from him. 5 for 9, made 2 threes, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 steals, and of course defending Jalen Brunson, who Brunson is just a machine. He goes 9 for 19, 11 made free throws, 31 points. Defends him, makes it hard, traps, gets the ball out. 5 assists, 3 turnovers for Brunson. That's like normal of a guy who has the ball all the time. Tyrese Haliburton had 0. Those 4 that I've already talked about, and Myles Turner sprinkling in a lot of good plays here and there, that's how the Pacers won this game. Those guys were all awesome. Tyrese Haliburton all night, Pascal Siakam all night, Bennedict Mathurin in his little pockets here and there, Aaron Nesmith with his defense and play finishing on, seemed like 2 ankles, but everybody joked it'd be 1 ankle. They were all fantastic. Everybody else did useful things. Do not get me wrong. I'm not trying to belittle the performances of anyone else. We'll talk about lots of guys coming up here in a second. The whole bench was efficient, 50% or better for all of them. Andrew Nembhard's got tough defensive assignments, and OG Anunoby's on him now. Myles Turner keeps getting better throughout this series. And yet, those 4 all were just outstanding. Smashed expectations because of injury, because of triple doubling, because of scoring, because of their dwindling role in the series leading up to this game. They were all great. They were all needed. The game was close-ish late. Rick Carlisle said, it's a 7-point game inside the final minute or so. That's close to a 1-possession game. Like, it was close. It was a tight game. Pacers pulled it out again. And here they go, up 3-1. The story of this game to me from a non-player perspective that I really want to dive into is this says so much about the Pacers. We know about their ability to respond. We know about their ability to adjust. Today, their in-game identification of challenges was just outstanding, and it led them to a win. I'll explain why and get into some other key notes from Pacers Knicks Game 4. Back here on Locked On Pacers, thanks for making us your first listen today and every single day. Your second listen, Locked On Thunder or Locked On Wolves. Thunder up 3-1. Wolves need to win 3 in a row to make it to the finals like the Knicks. Here is something I was tracking as a fantastic way to show what the Pacers' super strength is. What I mean by that is we all know about their ability to respond and adjust. They haven't lost 2 games in a row in like 2.5 months. Every time after game 3, they come out and they figure out stuff. The difference is, and stuff, what I talked about with Kyle Taylor yesterday is, after game 3 of Bucks Pacers in the first round, it was very clear that the Bucks switching defense was the thing that bogged the Pacers down offensively, and then some other lineups that were challenging offensively. It was very clear what the challenges were in game 3. The Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, 3-2 zone. It was very clear what the challenges were. Game 3 of this Knicks series, don't get me wrong, the Knicks changed their lineups. There was just a lot of little things here and there that it felt like the Pacers would have to address. It was just a different kind of challenge to overcome. It wasn't one sweeping adjustment. It wasn't solving 1 or 2 big problems. It was a bunch of little ones. So I wondered how this would look. No problem. Pacers film session, got him here, and they figured out every single thing that they were dealing with throughout this game very quickly, right? Early, Jalen Brunson make at the rim. Pacers need to play fast off makes after playing slow last game. Pascal Siakam scores on Cat immediately. Boom. Points right away. The Knicks go to Precious Achiuwa. Dust him off for the first time of the series. He plays 2 minutes and 24 seconds because those minutes did not go particularly well. The second Precious Achiuwa checked into the game, Rick Carlisle instantly goes small. Toppin's in there. Siakam's in there. Pacers start scoring. Precious Achiuwa does not play the rest of the game. The Pacers need a jolt late in the first quarter. They usually do not go to the 10th guy until the second quarter in the series. I've been tracking their subs like a maniac throughout this. They go to Mathurin late in the first quarter. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. He hits a pull-up jumper with a minute to go. He hits a cutting layup with 31 seconds to go. There's a cleaning machine going behind me. I apologize for the volume. And hit that sub timing. Perfect. Haliburton came out a little earlier than maybe normal for a game like this. Awesome Ben Mathurin game. Talent is on the floor without Jalen Brunson. The Knicks making their first real surge of the game. It's tied at 51. The Pacers, we know this problem from last game. Dalen Wright's been good. They immediately start doubling Towns. They immediately start to force him to pass and get off the ball and do different things. The starters come in. It took a little bit, but the Pacers created separation to close that quarter. That was very important. If they were losing at halftime with the half Haliburton had in the game that generally the Pacers were playing, I think they would have been beating themselves up, but they did solve that problem to some extent. The Knicks did not go to that lineup for very long in the second half. Karl Towns' man in this game set a bunch of screens. That was a huge problem to me last game. They were not involving Cat as a defender enough in these games. Very often Myles Turner, sometimes Pascal Siakam, sometimes even a wing comes up in the action with Towns out there. Problem solved, make him work. Jalen Brunson comes in that second quarter, late. The Knicks, it's a close game. Every moment and play matters. The second Jalen Brunson comes in the game, 4 minutes and 53 seconds to go between free throws, the Pacers come down. Aaron Nesmith, who is being guarded by Brunson now, sets a screen for Tyrese Haliburton. Tyrese Haliburton uses a screen, drives to the basket, finger roll layup. Pacers take the lead again. The first play he came in, they attacked him. The first play they identified they needed to change their defense against Towns, they doubled him. The minute they realized they needed to get Ben Mathurin in, they did. The minute the Knicks went Precious Achiuwa, the Pacers instantly got the right lineup on the floor. And I have more. But this was a theme to me of the game. The Pacers' quick identification of a new challenge being presented to them by the Knicks and immediately knowing strategically or sub-pattern-wise or whatever, they knew exactly what they needed on the floor in that instance to solve that problem or make the Knicks have to change what they were doing. And they were quick to it every single time. Another one, this one everybody noticed at the same time because it was so huge. Late in the third quarter, Knicks pushing a little bit. The Pacers were up, 10-ish not that long ago. It's a 6-point game here. It's an 8-point game there. In comes Ben Mathurin with 1:24 to go. The Knicks are down 6 with less than 2 minutes to go in the third. This was a huge moment last game. Mathurin comes in, curls off a play on an inbounds pass, catch, attacks the rim, bucket, and one. Massive basket. Pacers go up 9, and they held a big lead to close the quarter. And, by the way, Ben Mathurin would get fouled again later in the third and hit 2 free throws and another Tony Bradley free throw later. The Pacers, their lead teetering. This game close. It was a 6-point game when Mathurin came in. They're up 11 going into the fourth. I thought Mathurin's subs were good identification of the right timing to bring him in the game. And then in the fourth, the one that we can all see, and this happens a lot throughout the game, every time it was just Mitchell Robinson at the 5. Immediately, look at the Pacers coaching staff. They're all looking at each other. They all look. Tony Bradley, come on in. No cat out there. Tony Bradley, you're going to play. You're going to battle with Mitchell Robinson. You're going to get rebounds. That's the time it makes sense to play a backup center in this game. Uh-oh, here comes Cat. Myles Turner, get in there. They were all over that immediately. What a revelation to push the Tony Bradley button in this series. Tony Bradley makes a shot today, hits a free throw, has his rebound, 3 points, 1 board, plus 10 in 10 minutes for Tony Bradley. Guy was not on any NBA team 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago. Here he is in the conference finals. They had one play they left him in against Cat. It was very funny to see Jenny Busick run off the bench, go tell Rick Carlisle, hey, Cat's in. They try to get Turner in. They're too late. It's during a free throw. The Knicks draw foul on the other end. Turner comes in. They realize they messed it up. And then realizing they messed it up is how I knew that they were trying to get out of that as fast as possible. I'm trying to yell over the cleaning thing going behind me. I did not realize that this would happen during this. Awesome identification of challenges by the Pacers all night. That was a huge theme of the game to me. And so coming in, everyone wondered, the adjustment's not a big thing. It's a bunch of little things. Can they do it? How do they do it? What does it take? That's what it takes. A game plan, a strategy, and the ability to execute those things. They did it all night long. Some other guys deserve mini shouts for the way they played in this game. I have so many more notes that I could go to. But I just want to run through the clip a little bit here. TJ McConnell. They went under. They start go under last game. He's not going to take threes. Okay, he's going to make a long two. He's going to go dap up George Hill. He's going to have 3 assists. They go under on him. He still has little crevices to like shake into the lane. He's very fast. He's still like going around. He's like, it doesn't actually help that much to do that. They win his minutes by 3. Obi Toppin. They played him a little bit more. They went to small ball lineups against certain front courts. I wondered if they'd go to Toppin, Siakam, Turner in this game. They didn't, but his pace and tempo matters. 17:40. He plays. He only takes 3 shots. Those minutes went great. Ben Shepherd continues to be the Brunson answer when Neesmith's not on the floor. They just get something from everybody in these games. Andrew Nembhard had the only forgettable game of any Pacer. They needed everybody to be good. They went to a stretch with Myles Turner as the only starter. Tyrese Haliburton had 15, 4, and 5 after 9 minutes. So many things for the Pacers were awesome in this game. Their shot selection was not great. They had a couple other issues that I think they would very much like to solve in future games. And yet here they are, 1 win away from a trip to the NBA Finals for the second time in franchise history. They'll have to win 1 more. Maybe they'll do it in New York. They've won Game 5 of every series they've played so far. Maybe they'll do it here for Game 6. Maybe you'll be hearing this cleaning machine behind me again if they do it after Game 6. But they did it. They're up 3-1, and they go to the Garden to try to close it out. On Thursday, I will be there. I'll bring you coverage of that game and a podcast there as well. Tomorrow we'll be with a guest. I have reached out to people. We'll see who it ultimately ends up being. And then Thursday, of course, is the post game for Game 5. Back to Indy after that. We'll see where things go. Hard to plan. You don't know how many games in the series are going to be, which the Pacers have earned that right to potentially have time off by winning this series quickly. Here they are. Thank you all so much for listening today. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Tony R. Reese. This podcast is on Twitter at Locked On Pacers and on Instagram with the same handle. Back tomorrow with the guest talking Game 4 going into Game 5. Thank you all so much for listening. We will see you very soon.